Hi everyone, I'm Jim and welcome to the review of Wonder What's Next, the second studio album by the band Chevelle. Today we're celebrating the 20th anniversary of the record, so I decided to go back and see if it still holds up or not. My story with this band starts around the year 2003 or 2004. I saw the music video to the song The Red on MTV and I always had it in the back of my head, so when I finally had the internet in 2008, I've decided to look for the song. Then I've checked the discography and I loved it. Since then I'm a big fan of their music. The producer for this record is Garth Richardson and the lineup is original. We have the three brothers. Classic lineup, I love it. Wonder What's Next is the most successful Chevelle album, which is funny because it's also the most heaviest one. It's certainly more brutal than the previous one or the next ones. The production is tight, everything sounds heavy and massive, the message is diverse, songs are mostly about failed relationships and some conflicts in life, but we also have some other topics that I am going to mention later. The structure for the music is mostly basic, but some of the songs have that progressive style to it. Like the structure is always intro, verse, chorus, bridge, chorus. Some of the verses have slight variations, they play some different stuff on top of it, which is very nice. The music style for this record is mostly nu metal. I wouldn't call it alternative music, that's the later albums. Here it's very new. The album opens with the song Family System. The beginning has that evil sounding melody which reminds me of Korn. Later the main riff sounds kinda like Slayer in some parts. I really dig it, it's heavy, it's punchy, it's interesting. The vocals are on point, the screams, the singing, everything is beautiful. The bassist is killing it, so is the drummer. This is a legendary song for me. There's nothing wrong with it, so just grow up. 11 out of 10. Comfortable Liar is a song that really reminds me of Deftones Around the Floor when it comes to everything. The drumming, the guitars, the bass, the vocals. It truly sounds like a B-side from those sessions. And that's always good to hear because we don't have enough Around the Floor inspired music. Like any of the next Deftones albums weren't even half as good as Around the Floor, so I do really appreciate this song. My take on you is simple. I just love that part. Every part, vocally, shines. Instrumentally, it's like a small brother of Be Quiet and Drive, and I adore this structure because it's very simple and basic, but it changes. The second verse has a different ending drumming patterns, which I really enjoy, and the last segment of the song is a heavy breakdown with lots of screaming, and that's where the drummer just shines. I think that's the best drumming on this entire record. Beautiful song, 11 out of 10. Send the Pain Below is the second single from this album. It has a music video. It truly sounds like a Deftones song yet again. But it's not as good as the previous two tracks. It's more repetitive for me, but I do enjoy the chorus here and the verses. It's very nostalgic sounding and atmospheric. I'll send the pain below. I'll send the pain below. Much like suffocating. Dun 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 dun. Much like suffocating. I just adore it. I wish that the previous two songs were singles because they are more heavier and have more emotional depth than this one, but still, this is a masterpiece. I especially love the lyrics in these songs. Family System was about struggling with your family members, that they're just very juvenile. Comfortable Liar was about lying in a relationship, and Send the Pain Below is just being stuck in a toxic relationship. You can easily relate to this stuff, and that's the strength of these songs. 10 out of 10. Closure was the final single released with a music video. It's one of the most calm songs on this record, but it gets more and more heavier with each passing verse. The melodies here are just so beautiful, and the vocals are just perfect. What I don't like about this song is that it has too much repetition. I would actually cut out the second verse or the third one and just go straight to the release of anger, because the song gets angrier with each passing iteration of verse and chorus. So the final minute of this song is the most interesting part. So yeah, after listening to this song for like hundreds of times, it kinda gets tiring, but I will not complain, it's still a masterpiece. My favorite part here vocally is "Closure has come to me, myself. You will never belong to me." He just screams, I love it. That final chorus is my favorite part. The lyrics, yet again, are about a failed relationship. 10 out of 10. The Red is the first single from the record. It also has a music video. It's a song about anger issues. I relate to this stuff a lot, especially when people come to your private life and just want to ruin your day basically. So I relate to this song a lot. I love its atmosphere, the riffs, the bass, the drums, the vocals. My favorite part is the verse for sure. They say freak when you're singled out. The red, where it filters through. Yeah, just beautiful. I like that you can sing along to every song here and just feel it on your own. 11 out of 10. Wonder What's Next is a song about the dark side of the music business, losing your creativity and rights because of the music label that decides the things for you, and you just get mad and you see your music basically raped by someone else. It's a heavy concept. I didn't expect it the first time I've listened to this album like 14 years ago. It's one of the heavier songs by Chevelle. I dig the atmosphere here, especially the guitars, which have that nu metal atmosphere in the verses. I dig everything about this song, except the chorus is not that good to be honest, but I do enjoy the screaming. So yeah, 9 out of 10. Don't Fake This is another song that could have been a single because it's just beautiful. I enjoy the verses here, the chorus, the atmosphere. Just don't fake this. Yet again, it's about a relationship. 10 out of 10. Forfeit is one of my favorite Chevelle songs. People say that the lyrics are about that caveman ape mentality thing, but to me it seems like the song is about relationships. If you've been in a toxic relationship, I'm sure that you can relate to what he's saying here, and I adore this track. The riffage here, the bass, the drumming, the vocals. It's a song that I've recorded a guitar cover like in 2020 for the 18th anniversary of this record, I think, and I just love every second of it, especially the emotional aspect, where you can feel their emotions and how angry they get. 11 out of 10. Grab Thy Hand is a song that many people think is about God and Christianity, because the band members once said they were Christians. That was later debunked. It's a song about relationships, and the vocalist always announces the song by saying, "This one's for the ladies." I love the dark atmosphere of this track, especially the riffs. The main riff is just so punchy, the bass shines through yet again, beautiful drumming, the vocals. It's another legendary song for me. 11 out of 10. An Evening with El Diablo is the worst song on this record. I am just disappointed with this track every time I hear it. I just don't like the main melody here. The verse melodies suck ass. The vocals, I don't like them. What I do love about it are the pre-chorus melodies, or maybe that's a chorus. I think it's a pre-chorus. It sounds very much like Deftones. I adore the guitar melodies in it and the vocals. It's a funny thing because it's an average track for me that I don't like, but I do love that pre-chorus that sounds like Deftones, so I have to give it 6 out of 10 because I do replay it a lot. I just skip the parts I don't like. And the final song, One Lonely Visitor, is an acoustic track about failed relationship. Yeah, this whole record is about fake relationships. This is actually a demo version the band recorded without any Pro Tools and mixing, mastering whatsoever. Later on, they've recorded this song in the studio, but the vocalist said that he didn't like it, it sounded forced and fake, and he convinced the label to use the demo one, which is actually very good, especially because of how emotional this song sounds like. The first 2 minutes are just a standard acoustic track, but after that the vocals go wild, we can hear the sadness and pain in his voice, he starts singing and screaming, and it's just so beautiful and gut-wrenching. I love this song. It's not as good as most of the previous tracks here, but it's certainly better than the Diablo song. 9 out of 10, a great ending to the record. The expanded edition has 4 bonus tracks. The first one is Until You're Reformed. It's a song that the band recorded for the album, but they took it out so it could be a part of the Daredevil soundtrack. It's a shitty movie from 2003, but the director's cut version is actually nice, so if you can watch that version of the movie. The soundtrack was perfect. It had a lot of nu metal and alternative metal bands basically. This track is probably about a fucked up relationship as well. I adore the use of harmonics on this song. You know, those natural harmonics on guitars. It gives that old school 90s vibe to it. The vocals, just perfect. The bass drumming, as usual, exquisite. My favorite part of this song is the final minute. It's just the explosion of emotions, beautiful stuff. It reminds me of Deftones. Some people also say this reminds them of Tool. I mean, some of the sections in the songs do sound Toolish, but I feel like it's slightly different. I wouldn't compare Chevelle with Tool because Chevelle songs are shorter and actually interesting. So yeah, Until You're Reformed, 10 out of 10. High Visibility is a helmed cover. I think it's not on the same level as the original. The vocals are fine, but the instrumental lacks the depth and soul of the original, especially the fact that they haven't played some of the hidden melodies in the original. Just listen to the original and then the cover, you will know what I am talking about, but it's still good, 7 out of 10. I can say the same thing about the next cover, Black Boys on Mopeds. I prefer the original because it's more emotional, and this cover is very similar to that one, so it's good, 7 out of 10. And the final one, It's Now Good, Depeche Mode cover. I actually love this one. I am not a big fan of the original song, because it's some pop from the 80s or some shit, but this one I really like. It sounds like a Nirvana type of song. The screaming in the middle is just godlike. I adore this stuff, 10 out of 10. I love these types of covers that don't sound like the originals at all. To sum it all up, the consistency is stable and the flow is fitting. You're not going to skip any song. The flow is fitting because I don't like that Diablo song that much. Replayability, hell yeah, it's a masterpiece. It starts strong and heavy and it just doesn't let go right until the 10th track, which I think was the weakest one, but still okay. And it picks right up with the final track, which is a beautiful ballad. What can I say? Celebrate the anniversary by listening to this record with me. You're going to have a great time. I cannot wait for a new Chevelle record, which is going to come out next year, apparently. Let's hope it will bring some of that heaviness and emotions back. That's all from me. Thank you for watching. If you wonder what's next, subscribe to my channel and I will see you in my other reviews. Bye!